What is a Keystone movie? With every season, it grows clearer. A cinematic echo ringing through the halls of film history. But why is that something we should care about? Armed with a new perspective, the Copycats will dive headfirst into these questions and more this season for Freaky Wednesday. Hello! You there. Welcome to Keystone Copycats with Chris and Zach. I, of course, am your host, Zach, and he, of course, is your other host.
The other Zach. The other white Zach.
So many white Zachs on this show. We should start a club.
What, like of what? White people? That sounds terrible, and they wouldn't dance well.
So I have two friends named Nick who were in a band
I'm
together.
calling bullshit on this.
One of them is a graphic designer, artist, and they got together, decided
the other
to start.
One's cool.
They decided to start the League of Nicks, where those two, and other people named Nick would be members of this, and he would draw like a little portrait of them, and they would have like a little membership card. And
well, I don't like this because that's not my name.
look,
so this is the no homers all over again.
yeah. So what I've learned from people who are not from Cincinnati, Ohio, which is where we're from,
Hey, speak for yourself.
You are too. Is that every man in Cincinnati, Ohio is either named Nick or Chris.
Oh, yeah.
There's so many.
I can see that.
It's weird.
I can see that.
Yeah, that's.
And I wonder if everyone named Chris knows that their name's dumb.
Yeah, I'm sure. Like, I was in a band with a Nick and a Chris.
I walk around with a name tag that says, my name's dumb, so's yours.
Call me Dum Dum. That's what it says.
Call me idiot like you, dummy.
Yeah.
It's real catchy. It's a long name. The name tag's very long.
I thought it was wide and it just wrapped around under your arm to the back.
It's trademarked.
Yeah.
It's a
fancy
shirt that I'm working on.
It's like a German name tag because it's so long. They have long words.
Oh, okay. I mean, yeah, you were stretching it like that name tag.
Like the name tag. We get it.
How you doing? Making fun of the fucking Germans over there.
I used to be really merry, and now I'm not.
No. What?
Because we finished our month of Christmas movies.
Oh, shit. I didn't catch that at all. If you would have winked,
I used to be really merry.
I would have got it.
If I would have winked, it would have sounded like a jingle bell, and then we would have been back in the cycle of Christmas movies again, and you don't want that.
So, just so everyone knows, we're still reporting from the future. Christmas probably went great.
It went great.
So, we're now in, God, it's probably fucking October by now.
No.
I've lost track.
It's still technically December.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah, which is why we decided to focus on this movie that deals largely with New Year's Eve.
You going to announce it? Are you do you want to do banter?
No, let's have a little banter.
How
you doing?
Do the people want the talk?
People like the talk.
I think they're getting sick of it.
They're horny for it.
Okay, that's stretching.
You don't know. You don't know.
I had a moment this morning that I just like I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with my brain anymore.
Much.
You know when you're in your car and you look out the window and you see your own reflection and you think it's somebody else.
You're like, who's this creep?
I was driving. So it made way less sense that I saw myself, and much like a goose in a window, I was like,
You
like,
thought
I lost my
there's
shit.
a man on the wing of the plane.
It didn't make any, like, I just didn't, like, all of it I was talking myself out of. That can't be you for so many, can't be someone else for so many reasons. That's you.
Can we make
That's
a
just
shitty,
you.
Can we make a shitty version of that Twilight Zone where it is just a guy seeing his own reflection in his car window? He's freaking out.
I think we have to. I don't know. This is I had a moment of like clarity when I was just like kind of spiraling back in my head of all these thoughts about why I'm so dumb. And I thought about the time.
I think about that a lot too.
Thought about the time that I was at my dad's softball game, and afterwards they always drank. And I was listening to this guy and his team and his wife, and he was just telling this long story. And I was like, I don't know, I was like 8 at the time. So eventually everyone keeps wandering away from the story, and I'm still listening. So finally he goes, oh, just never mind. And she goes, oh, well, Chris is still listening. I was like, yeah, well, tell me the end of the story. He goes, so I was at the baseball game, and a baseball landed in my beer. And then I thought, wow, and I was still mid-sentence, and this little kid came up and said, hey, mister, can I have the ball? And I said, listen, I've been waiting 30 years to catch a ball, and it finally happened, and today's just my day. And what I didn't realize, like, till 25 years later, is that he was just drunk lying, and I was just the only one gullible enough that stuck around for the end of that fucking story. Huh. Like, that guy's a liar, and I hope he's dead.
That took a turn. Wow.
No, man. I'm just like, why would you bait this child? And why did my father leave me there to listen to this drunk rambling?
I think it says a lot about who you are as a person, that looking back on this memory, you've now decided that he was just a drunken liar, instead of like this happy story of like, oh, this guy was kind of a jackass at a baseball game.
Didn't you hear? At the end, he didn't give the ball to a child.
Yeah, that rules. I like this guy. Fuck that kid.
Well, I'm sure
if I caught a baseball at a game, I would keep it. I wouldn't give it to some jerk-off kid.
I don't know, it's probably some dude named Larry, and I realized my dad did play softball with a guy named Larry. See? And it wasn't Larry, so all I know is that Larry is a twin, and it wasn't Larry.
Maybe it was his twin brother, Chris,
or
Nick.
What's so funny about Larry, though? Can I tell you this?
I would love to hear about Larry.
Larry's got a twin brother, and I want to say that rhyme, but I might be making that up. But
Jerry?
The only way you can tell the difference between them, because they look identical, is one had a mullet. Like, one had short hair, and one just had a fucking textbook mullet. So there's Larry, and then Gary, who cares? But mullet, yeah. Larry and mullet.
We went to college with a set of twins that one of them wore glasses and had like a little goatee, and the other one was like clean shaven and no glasses, and that's how we told them apart. And they were a strange couple of fellas.
Yeah, I don't want.
I don't want to go into it, but they were interesting guys.
Yeah, sorry,
sure.
Sorry, all you twins out there. You just something's not right.
Yep.
There's too many of you.
I was going to say, like, Twinkies out there, because, like, they come in a pack with 2, and then I started thinking about how, like...
instead of cheese log, meat log.
No, stop it. But then I started thinking about, like, when you buy a zebra cake, like a box of zebra cakes, and they come in the pack with 2 little ones, and you're like, what's happening here?
I was about to say the same thing. Are they smaller when you buy the packs?
They're much smaller.
What the fuck?
And there's 2 of them in a pack instead of one big one. This is like that time that the guy lied to me about the baseball
in his cup.
I don't think he lied.
Well, hang on. Let's stop for a moment. Do you think it was one of those big cups, like the big batter?
I don't think they had them.
Bat cup. Oh,
because you were a child at the time, so it's the 90s. So he's talking about probably the 70s or 80s.
As long as you are happy inside, you have the spirit of a child.
I think he caught the ball in a glass bottle somehow.
Like a ship?
Yeah.
Like the ship in the bottom when it's a baseball?
Yeah, he was like taking a drink out of his beer, holding it up in the air. It hit the bottom of the bottle and went inside it.
You know what's upsetting? Is that my parents are dead. So I'll never find this guy. Never find this guy. Because I guarantee my dad was one of those people that remembered every single person's name, like on soccer teams. So why would he not forget this motherfucker?
That's how my dad is, too.
It's lost in history. I will never find this guy who lied to me as a child. That's upsetting.
My dad will ask me about kids who were on my basketball team when I was 8 years old. He'll be like, whatever happened to Jason Mallory? I'm like, I don't know. That was 25 years ago.
It was not Jason Mallory.
It was.
Or was that his older brother?
Different guy.
Is it Eli's
completely different guy? No.
Okay.
Unrelated.
All right.
Different kid.
We're getting deep in our own.
That's what I'm saying.
She's logged.
But he'd ask, and he'd be like, oh man, you remember that kid Lukeman? And I'd be like, yeah. He's like, he was quick. I'm like, all right, man.
I only remember a couple people, and one of them is Zach George. Not you though.
The other one. I also remember him.
Yeah. So Zach George, if you're out there,
call in.
You're not the right one. Because this one's older, so sorry.
Zach George, if you're out there, call in 513-239-7682. I'm giving the number out earlier in the show. I want people to call us, and they never do. Especially Zach George.
I thought you loved pandering.
I mean, I don't see how that's pandering.
What are you talking about?
I think you need a dictionary. It's not what that means.
You know what's a joke I love to do when I go people's doors when they have the no soliciting sign? Every time I go, when they answer, I go, "It's not soliciting if you call me, right?" And they always laugh. They have to. It's manners.
That's my new laugh. I'm gonna do that now. How am I doing? I'm doing okay. I'm happy that we have wrapped up our run of holiday movies. I really enjoyed it, and I'm excited to get back into some freak similes.
Do you think the people liked it?
Fuck them.
Oh. Wow.
I liked it. I've told you numerous times that I create things for me to enjoy, and if other people do, like, I guess that's a bonus, but, like, that's it.
I just imagine you masturbating in the corner when you're like, get away! Like, I've created this for me to enjoy.
Yeah, I'm watching, like, I'm watching, like, The Intervention on my phone, which is a short that we made, and I'm listening to our podcast and my band in the other ear.
Ooh.
I'm just ingesting all this media that I've created.
You're ingesting a lot of us. Got it. Dan noted.
So,
you want to talk about the movie?
How you doing?
No, I don't want to do that anymore.
You didn't tell me. You never answered.
Oh, I'm sad inside all the time.
Oh, thank God.
So, trading places, though.
Okay, trading places.
I have a confession.
Okay.
I think I spoiled this last week. I watched this movie
several weeks ago.
Last week, and I fell asleep halfway through last night, so I didn't finish taking my notes. So we're going to have to go off memory for some of this. So everyone stay tuned because you're going to have to fill me in with what happened in the movie. So everyone pause, watch the movie if you didn't, and tune back in. And
just watch it anyway. It's a good movie.
No, they have to pause.
So Trading Places from 1983, directed by John Landis, starring Eddie Murphy, Dan Aykroyd, Jamie Lee Curtis, Ralph Bellamy, and Donna Michi.
So my fiance told me that Jamie Lee Curtis was like a sex symbol. Is that correct? Like she was known for her body at one point?
I don't think so. This is the first movie she ever showed any of her body in.
Okay.
Because she was only in horror movies up to this point.
Movies.
And actually, when John Landis wanted to cast her, the studio was wary about it because she had only ever done horror.
Oh.
So she was like the original Scream Queen.
But
from like Halloween and Prom Night.
Because she was dripping out of her clothes most of this movie.
I mean, I thought she was very attractive in this movie.
That's what I said, but I just said it different.
You just said it in a pervy way.
Yes.
Because we're back in mainline episodes, so you have to be too horny on the show. That's your persona this season.
And we're back. Yeah, that was it.
Yeah, that's your persona this
That was
season.
all my notes.
Horniness.
I fell asleep after that.
Oh, fuck.
I wrote back boobs.
There's a lot of boobs in this movie.
Yeah, there was. But unnecessary.
Remember that party? That party that Eddie Murphy throws where that woman is just dancing with her jacket?
You know what? Yeah, they used the B-roll. They like shot all of it. They're like, we'll put it the good clip. We'll cut around the bad clips. And they're like, or just put them in. Fuck it.
Just toss
there
them.
was some bad boob dancing.
It was strange.
You know what? I forgot? 80s boobs are not good.
Oh, I thought they were fine.
Nope.
Yeah.
No, we said fine, not good.
Well, sure, they were acceptable.
Okay. Well, we're still.
Let's do a poll.
We're splitting hairs.
You want to split hairs here? You want to do a little synopsis of this bad boy?
Well, about that. So the end of this, I also just.
You didn't write down the.
Well,
I watched you.
I did, but you'll hear it. You'll hear it.
Oh, good.
You ready?
Hang on, let me mute my headphones so I don't hear it.
An upper-class executive, Dan Aykroyd, and down-and-out hustler, Eddie Murphy, are subjects of a bet in which their lives are switched to find out who is the better broker. The ending I made up because I didn't really know what to say.
Let me tell you something.
It's not really better broker, but kind of.
Down and out hustler. I like that description quite a bit.
Yeah.
I think that this is a pretty good movie.
Yeah. I mean, I watched it willingly, so that should say something.
And that's what you tune in to Keystone Copycats for, the deep analysis, calling a movie good.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
How do you feel about that opening music?
Yeah, it's very 80s.
Yeah, I love it.
It's quite fitting, and I'm trying to think of another comparison to another movie where it
I want to say like Back to School, but I've seen it, but it's but I just kind of assume Back to School would have similar
It's alumni
music.
prestigious. Yeah, if that makes sense.
Yeah. It feels like the music that would play as you're graduating college.
How do you? Yes, exactly.
Which we both did, and I don't know.
Kind of.
Hey, David Sedaris signed your degree.
Junior college, whatever. So, what's up with the fucking Philly Bell? Why is
the
it
Liberty
cracked?
Bell? I don't know. I don't really know.
What
the gang did it?
No, I know. Does anybody know?
I'm sure someone does.
Oh, so we don't know. Me and you just don't know.
I don't know.
And maybe there's a story.
Why would we care is the real answer.
They showed it in the beginning.
Yeah, because it's like a symbol of Philadelphia. They also showed the Rocky statue.
I don't get it.
And if it was made a little later, they would have shown Love Park, which is...
How come they don't fix shit? Like the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Like, why didn't they fucking fix it?
Because it became iconic, and people would come because it was leaning.
It's an imperfection.
Yeah,
exactly. This is like Cindy Crawford's mole. It's like, no, just you get rid of that. This is wrong.
I mean...
So what we have is...
Her money probably disagrees. Billy Joel probably disagrees.
What's he got to do with anything?
I think they were married for a while.
Oh, that's cool.
I could be wrong. It could have been a different supermodel. So, I don't know.
Liberty Bell,
yeah,
Leaning Tower,
Rocky,
and Cindy Crawford all got to get corrected in my eyes.
Yeah.
Or just,
And you know what?
Something.
You know what I prescribe for all three? Spackle.
What, is that our new fucking...
Calcium? No.
Is that our new head?
No, still calcium.
Doing spackle? What
still
kind
calcium.
of spackle? Generic Kroger spackle.
Generic Kroger brand spackle.
Get the lead out.
For when you need to be Cindy Crawford.
What?
What?
The hell does that have to do with spackle?
For when your pizza's leaning like
off
a tower.
The fucking rails. Let's get back to this.
Hey! That's my line.
So how do you feel about this taking place in Philadelphia, though? Doesn't it seem like it's a New
neither
York
here
movie?
nor there. I mean, they're big on the stock market, so it does kind of feel like it should be, but, like, I don't know. I don't know that it matters. Although, I will say this. I know that, like, at the time, in the 80s and, like, prior, Philadelphia had this kind of reputation of these kind of, like, snooty, like, blue blood, so maybe that's why they did it, so, like, it would fit more with Dan Aykroyd's character. Maybe that was the point.
Everything about Dan Aykroyd screams blue collar. You know what? I'm making that stupid joke. He did really well.
He's great.
Like, I will say this is probably one of my top-ranking movies for Dan Aykroyd.
He's so good in it.
I think he does the swap.
He nails it. Oh, I forgot that's the thing we do.
I was going to say something afterwards, and I just stopped. So
he does the swap.
That's pretty good.
That's what you said.
There was a period there.
Yeah, hard period. A real heavy flow kind of period.
Gross.
Yeah. So I think I think he's really good in this, actually. And, I wanted to talk about it, and I don't think you ended up seeing it, but I did want to talk about Ghostbusters Afterlife, which I saw in the theater.
Dude, is this the second week in a row you're doing this shit to me? I didn't fucking see it.
Well, you said you were going to, so you lied to me.
I will.
You lied to the listeners.
I've not had the time. I've not
nor
had
the
the
inclination. I had neither the time nor the inclination to see that picture. So no, what I wanted to say though is that like
spoiled it for the whole fucking audience.
Look, fuck you. Number one,
selfish boner jack and fuck.
So
off in the corner and your poor wife wondering what's happening over there.
Did you say I'm in my poor wife? In the corner?
No, in the corner.
Anywho, look, last week we did a movie with Bill Murray.
Yep.
Ghostbuster. This week we do a movie with Dan Aykroyd. Ghostbuster.
Okay.
It's apropos.
I mean,
so do you have plans to see this movie in the theater?
Is that like a French applause?
No.
What does that mean?
So one time
where do I put my hands, Zach?
So one time I made I directed this music video, and while we were ordering some food, one of the members of the band looking at the menu, there was a section that said accolades, and he said, "What is that, like French for appetizers or something?"
I like it.
Right,
like it.
Which it was a pizza place, number one, so not going to be French, but
buongiorno.
That he then thought accolades was. Part of the I liked it. I thought it was funny.
If we want to stay on the food topic,
sure.
Those fucking sugar cubes. Have you ever had a sugar cube? It made me want to eat one so bad.
Yeah, I looked at it and I thought, man, that's fancy.
Is that a fucking rich thing?
Because it's a tea thing.
I know that sugar is so cheap. I just don't ever see the option. Like, where's the fucking sugar cube option?
I think it's a tea thing because I think
I drink tea.
You measure out your how much sugar you want in your tea or coffee, I guess, by cubes. So it's like
If you were arguing with anyone, and you were just so in the right, but then they busted out a sugar cube with little tongs and put it in the drink, you'd be like, you fuck.
You'd be like, you fucking, I out-argued you, but you outclassed me by a mile.
It's one of those things where I saw in the silver dish, and I'm like, I forgot that those things exist because no one's ever given me one. How have I gone this long?
So there's like a fine line between like the sugar cube as this like high society like tea accoutrement and like the fucking weirdo hippies
Is
with
that fucking
LSD.
French for appetizer?
Yes. And like the fucking hippie with the LSD on the sugar cube.
Yeah, see, that's what.
It's like those are the only
where my
two
mind
things.
went to.
Those are the only two things you use it for, or a horse. You give them one to a horse.
What?
It's like a
acid?
treat. No, a sugar cube.
Yeah, a horse.
You feed him a carrot, and then you give him a little sugar cube.
You ride a horse on acid. What could go wrong?
Yeah, exactly.
One time
Ask Christopher Reeves.
One time I fell down a hill on a horse.
On acid.
Well, I was on it.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Turns out there was no horse at all. Ayo.
Where the fuck was I? What was I saying?
I don't care. I said something.
You wanted to talk more about food, and I was ready to move past food. So when Coleman wakes him up in the morning, he comes in with his breakfast on a tray, and he says, he wakes him up by saying, "Your breakfast." Yeah, like at that volume.
No, so
would that wake you up
it
ever?
Makes you in that part I was thinking, okay, breakfast in bed. I don't think this guy would actually do that, but maybe he would. I've never been rich; it's hard to tell. But
not yet.
Do you think he gives him "Sir, I'm making your breakfast" 10-minute kind of thing?
Oh, so then he can just get cozy.
I did think about that. It seemed like that was the second. That was like a snooze thing.
Yeah,
like he came back up to wake him up. But would
That's interesting. I don't know.
Would that not be uncomfortable eating food? Like I always think breakfast in bed. Like I would.
No, that sounds shitty.
I do not want to sit like that.
Especially if you have like a soft mattress. It's fucking impossible to do anything.
You'd be so concerned about getting syrup everywhere.
Tipping. Everything would tip.
Yeah.
Like, syrup.
And how do you even like when you're laying down? How do you scooch up to?
I think you have to scooch up before they put the tray down.
That's the problem. I've never had a butler.
Well, same.
Oh.
Hey, do you want to be each other's butlers? I'm gonna do a bad job.
I was gonna say, did something happen where like you got in a car wreck and you had to become my butler?
No, this isn't Jerry.
Okay.
I
think I would be better of a butler than you.
Yeah. No, I just told you I would do a bad job.
No, I'd do a bad job too, but I'd still be better than you.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a real bad job.
I'm trying to think like if you would ever help a human, ever.
I think you're thinking of somebody else.
I don't think that
I help people all the time.
Good human.
You shut your filthy whore mouth.
See, the thing is you're a better person than me, but I like
just barely.
To the naked eye, people think I'm better.
Oh, you're better than me in many ways.
No, thank you. That's
all sweet. The other ones you're worse.
Keep going. That actually segues in. But the butlers make a lot of money. They have to, right? Why would you do that?
Yeah,
why would you be a butler?
I think they make good money.
And they live in the house, right? Because the only butler I can ever think of is Alfred. And that's not this scenario. So
he's very wealthy, and he was basically Bruce Wayne's father.
It's like 24/7 care, and you live there. Like they don't have time to spend their money, even if they did get paid an exorbitant amount.
Like they're gonna go on vacation. Like, yeah, right. Your boss needs you.
How much do you think he makes?
I don't know. 4?
4? Just 4.
5, maybe.
Okay.
So I swear to God, if you say 6, I'm gonna lose my mind.
I mean, so between 4 and 6, he makes.
Okay, so here's the thing: Eddie Murphy, so Valentine,
he doesn't make 6.
They start him off at $80,000.
Yeah, that's some bullshit.
I mean, that's great money in the '80s. I saw adjusted for inflation, it was like $365,000.
Not enough.
Isn't that insane that they're like,
not enough to be a butler?
This guy off the street. No, well, but he doesn't make that much for sure. So he was probably making 50 or 60.
If you said...
And doesn't have to pay for a house. So
if you said, Chris, the rest of your life is paid for, you have to do 1 year being butler.
Yeah, but...
no butler.
But hang on. But then how would you know that you were the Chris I was talking to out of the thousands that are surrounding me at all times?
That's why I'm always so confused. I never know when to answer a question because I assume you're talking to the Chris behind me.
No, I'm talking to the dog named Crisp.
That's a dumb joke.
Crisp.
I don't like it.
You love it.
All right.
Well, okay, all right.
So, but I couldn't do the butler thing.
No, same. I couldn't either. I really think that like they could not have cast this better than like Eddie Murphy and Dan Aykroyd. They're both so good in their specific roles, and this was, I think, Eddie Murphy's third movie. They said.
What was his first two?
48 Hours and
Didn't see.
I don't know what his other one was.
So this was his first big hit.
48 Hours did pretty well. It's like the first buddy cop
in
movie.
the Chris that you're looking at in his life. This is the first big Eddie Murphy hit.
So
Chris knows about
Don Amici and
well, now you're just making up names.
and Ralph Bellamy, the Dukes, had
one
of them had.
I wrote down Statler and Waldorf. That's what I kept thinking of.
I like that. One of them had this was their 49th movie, and the other one, it was their 99th movie. And Eddie Murphy said, "Between the three of us, we've done 150 movies."
That's pretty funny.
Right? Oh, Eddie Murphy.
I like that.
Yeah, that was a fun bit of trivia. So I think that this is like, this is a great movie to follow our exploration of A Christmas Carol, because it's all about shitty rich men getting a lesson.
Yeah, it is all in the same thing.
Like it worked really well. Whoever planned this out, bit of a genius.
So I'm gonna jump a little bit
Yeah.
about Statler
he's
and
bouncing.
Waldorf.
Duke and Duke.
Duke and Duke.
Randall and Mortimer.
So I saw this on YouTube, so it's got to be real. An outtake in Ghostbusters that they didn't use for Bill Murray and Dan Aykroyd when they're pretending to be homeless to catch a ghost or something like that.
Oh, jeez.
There are two homeless guys, and in the universe, it actually is the Duke and Duke after they went broke. They put him in that movie as like just the little cameos.
You know they are in Coming to America.
I didn't see that either.
What? Like the original Coming to America?
I didn't see the new one.
Well, I didn't either, but they're in the original.
I didn't see that one.
So they are as the Dukes. They're homeless, and Eddie Murphy as like the prince tosses them a bundle of cash, and they're like, "We're back!" Like, yeah, it's a thing.
Wait, I think I've seen that part.
That movie is great. I'm surprised you haven't seen it.
Well, I don't like 80s movies. That's not true.
You don't like Eddie's movies?
That's not true. I don't like Eddie's movies. I'm trying to think of another Eddie Murphy movie that I like.
Beverly Hills Cop?
It's fine.
Wow.
I'm trying to think of another one that I like.
That's
I
a really
guess,
good one.
Nutty Professor. Just kidding. I don't like that.
He's like, I'm a big Norbit fan.
I was gonna say, what's the other one? Norbit? Whatever.
So when Eddie Murphy gets arrested and he's in jail, did you notice who was in the cell with him?
Oh, I know. The future drug lord.
Yeah.
Goose Freeman.
Fring man. Yeah, Gus Fring. I was excited I was like, oh
no, I caught it right away.
Yeah.
And then the bigger of the two guys that harass him.
Yeah.
I've seen his face, but I can't think of what else he's in.
Yeah.
But I did get tired of the joke. Yeah. Like that was worn out fast.
Yeah.
And I think it was just for the recall in the bar, so he could go, put it in his face. Yeah.
I really like when those guys go to Eddie Murphy's party and he's kicking him out, and the one guy's like, "You are the most fly," and he's like, "Yeah, get the fuck out."
Yeah. I did enjoy that. I think that obviously you have to speed this up for the movie's sake, but the come around when he's like, "This is a Persian rug." It was literally one day from when he was so inappropriate and had no etiquette to taking a lot of pride in his house.
Yeah, they definitely
and I get that because now it's his house, he has to care about it, but it seems like that was too fast for how
I agree.
how silly he was.
It had going for the plot,
from the jacuzzi sir, and then he drops the F word at him. You're just like, oh, so he didn't know what a jacuzzi was, and now he's taking a lot of pride in this antique.
Sure. Yeah.
No, come on.
Yeah, exactly.
A little far, but I mean, you forgive it.
Yeah, I think it works. Yeah, because they didn't have the time to transition him slowly.
Well, and I think it was to mirror Dan Aykroyd's, but that is more real. Like if you lost everything, you would lose your fucking shit a lot faster.
Yeah, like Bobcat Goldthwait in Scrooged.
No, but yes.
You don't think
no,
so?
But yes.
You think Bobcat Goldthwait would have been better in the Dan Aykroyd role?
Goldthwait.
Yeah, that's his name.
I think he would do. He looks like Rick Moranis. I can't believe I didn't bring that up last week.
So they said originally the train, like the baggage handlers, the one like is Al Franken.
Hey, all aboard.
Originally, those two were supposed to be Rick Moranis and Dave Thomas as like the
founder
McKenzie
of
brothers.
Wendy's.
No, the guy that were on SCTV. They did Bob and Doug McKenzie.
He created the classic.
No, it's not Dave's class. Different Dave Thomas.
You know,
he was on Grace Under Fire. You remember Grace Under Fire?
When I was a lad, probably around the time that I heard about
He
this
ate 4 dozen eggs
baseball
every morning to
in
help
the
him
cup
get
story.
large.
I went to the original Wendy's in Columbus, and I told everyone about it. That was what I thought fame was when I was a child. Now, I don't bring it up much anymore.
Well,
but I did use this platform to announce it.
well,
So
I don't know if
I don't know if you know this. I ate at the original
I
Wendy's.
don't know if you've heard.
I went around telling people about it. Like,
I ate the original Wendy's.
I'm like, yeah, I had the number one, the original.
It's so weird what you think is like makes you special as a kid. It's so weird.
Yeah, like in that Sublime song for when he says Cleveland, Ohio. I'm like, I live in that state. Yes, like fucking stupid.
Gross.
Yeah. Well, you say it. You say something now.
So I thought the editing in this movie was really interesting.
How so? What part are you referring to?
I made a note of the scene when Dan Aykroyd gets arrested. There's a lot of like the way they cut it and use like B-roll and like I don't really remember. So he's in the club. He's in like the fancy club. They're in that big room.
Yeah.
At the big round table when they discover that he has the 50s in his pocket. Mm-hmm. And then they cut to the like close up on the eyes of these like paintings of rich old white men, and it's like they're like looking at him like to shame him.
Down on
like it was just it's really interesting.
I didn't notice it.
The way they use B-roll in this, and I noticed it also at the stock market when Dan Aykroyd is explaining what they're going to do. His entire monologue explaining their plan is over B-roll.
Yeah,
which
I did
was
notice that.
Interesting.
Which, once again, I think it was like I
think they would have integrated them more.
I don't want to say live, but that had to have just been like catching actual brokers, right?
They did use them. They actually were going to shoot it during actual business hours, like the scene with them in the pit and everything. But
you can wager on anything, right? They kept going like to like frozen orange juice and pork bellies and shit. Like, but like that's infinite, right? It's anything.
No, I don't think it is
anything.
No, because you're not bidding. It's
They're
trading.
Like sugar cubes.
Stuff is traded, and I didn't understand this at all. Like I like very much did not understand
they
how
they focused on like 6 items on the table.
Yes.
And then they kept referring to them over and over. I'm like, well, that's the only thing you fucking trade on. Well, just those 6.
I thought I didn't understand how the futures market worked. And then I thought maybe I should watch The Big Short again.
Right now is the present, and then in the future, which is now present,
there will be another market.
But actually it's past because it's behind us. So it's fucked up. Time's an infinite tense.
I heard that time was a flat circle. Can you confirm or deny?
It's a tattoo on my back. That's a good saying, though, from a neo-Nazi.
Wait, what?
The character. It's on True Detective.
Oh, yeah, it is the neo-Nazi that says it, yeah. But then I read, like, in the trivia on IMDb, someone went into depth explaining how the futures market works and how they made the money.
I just don't.
And I thought it was really interesting.
I don't think I could follow it.
Well, it's as simple as this. When they're buying at a certain price, that's saying, I will promise to buy.
Hang on. Let's stop. Let's give it $1. Let's say you
Okay.
buy it $1.
You buy it $1 per pound.
Why?
Well,
is
hang
that
on.
a good rate?
It depends. So you say, I will buy frozen orange juice at $1 a pound.
You don't. It's
on
ounces.
This date.
It's not fucking pounds.
It is
of
pounds.
fucking juice.
It is because it's frozen.
You don't do a pound of juice. You pound some juice.
It's frozen.
But
you say on this specific date, I will pay this amount of money for it, regardless of what the market price is.
So today I buy it for $1, and then tomorrow I buy it for X.
The idea is that you buy it for. You say,
$1.
I will buy it for 35 cents
Yeah.
on March 15th, and you want it to be selling for more than 35 cents on March 15th, so then you can turn around and sell it immediately for a profit.
Yeah,
that's the idea.
I got it.
Well, you said you didn't.
Well, I was just wanting an example
read
for
it.
the audience. I think that
With
March
my
15th
peepers.
was distracting. What you should have said is,
The
let's
Ides of
say
March.
you buy it for $1 today.
Well, the
and then
example-
tomorrow you would have sold it for 75 at a loss.
Well,
And
but
that'd
that's
be a
not
great
how it
example.
works.
No, that's
No,
a great
because it's
example
not how it
of how
works.
it doesn't work.
Because it's the futures market. So
Gambling,
you're saying
gambling. Well, that's the future.
the example
The
that they-
future, you sell it.
the example from the actual movie is he says, I will buy April 12th. That's what he says in the
You can't
movie.
buy a day.
On April
I will
12th.
buy the day April 12th.
I'm going to buy it.
Hang
Yeah,
on,
so
hang
lots
on,
of B-roll.
hang on. In the future, Zach, look, you have to look at me. In the future, do you think we'll be able to buy days?
I think I will. You'll be long dead by the time we can buy days.
You know what I mean? Like April 12th, 2039. I want that day, and then
You'll
get
be
to,
you'll be long dead.
What?
You'll be long
What do I-
dead.
What is it's in the trust?
Long dead.
I want to. I'm starting it now. We're in the future. We will buy days,
I will.
and then it'll be
You'll be
my
dead.
day.
You'll be dead.
No, I know. It's,
You won't be able to buy any days.
And then secretly it was another Chris, one of the shitty.
You want to get
ones.
into you want to get into these freak similes? I forgot we do this on this show.
No,
No?
man, I forgot about the freak similes.
Yeah, I know
All
you
right.
did.
I did because I showed up today and had it written down. All right, let's do.
All right, number 1.
Yep.
Internal monologue. I said before, I don't think we're going to get another movie where we have an internal monologue this whole season. I gave it a no. That's a no for me.
No, it's a no.
Number 2, shitty significant other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the girlfriend, right?
His girlfriend is such an asshole.
So
Penelope.
I didn't catch the first time that she's the niece.
Yeah, she's
I didn't know that she was
their
the niece.
great grand niece.
Because I didn't understand when they were saying like "lucky you." I'm like, oh, because she's pretty, whatever. I'm like, she sucks as a person, but it's
also
even,
he's marrying into that family.
even
the
worse
Dukes.
that the Dukes were like, what if we take away his all his possessions and his job and his fiance? Like they said,
It's so shitty.
his fiance instead of like our niece. Like it's
Well,
like she's
and
a
that-
piece of property.
And that she's his fiance, and she so quickly goes to Todd is like, damn.
Well, but even when she's like, Mumsy's party, she's like, well, I'll just ask Todd to take me. You're like, well, hang on. Are
you
they
engaged
together
or not?
Yeah, are you together? I don't understand.
Are you
it.
trying to get her to date you, or are you planning to be married?
That's what I was confused about. Like, are you engaged or not? Because when there was like, are you? What's happening tonight? He goes, oh no, she's coming over. And
Right.
they're like, lucky you. I'm like, well, no, it's his fucking fiance, right? Like,
Yeah.
why is it lucky you?
I'm having dinner with Penelope. You're like, ugh.
It would be
God, all of
Penelope.
those snooty asshole club friends were the worst.
Yeah. You know, one of the guys, you know who he was? He was the mayor in Super Troopers. Super Troopers. I said it like that.
Mayor?
Yeah, the guy. He's, can I get a gun for the photo?
Oh, yeah.
That's him. That's all I recognized him from.
Spread it on.
Yeah. That's him. That's him.
What a good movie. The second one is not good.
Nah, I don't remember it.
You know what?
But either
It's
way, but no,
okay.
you're right. When they're doing the Delta side or whatever the
Yeah.
fuck it was, that song. I assume people really do that then, don't they?
Yeah, like shitty
Sing
frat
their
boys.
armadas.
I don't know if I think that's just like a that's like a shitty frat song that's about like fucking girls, because that's
Yeah.
what it was about.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so it was.
Yeah,
it
no,
was.
it's shitty. Like they
They were
suck.
like winter, spring, or fall. Like that one just fucks always.
yeah, like as long as it's like during the school year,
oh, she's
summer
fucking-
she's back home. So
I
you
was gonna
can't fuck
say,
her.
why do they leave
Yeah.
out summer?
I
that
thought
makes
that.
sense.
I thought that, and
makes
then I
sense.
immediately thought school year. That's it.
Oh, so that's why they were all like bashed, like, yeah, we fucked.
Yeah. Number 3, important day. I
Oh,
said
yeah.
yes, even
Yeah,
though it's
at
like
the end,
you know,
because
yeah,
January 2nd, baby.
yeah,
The report, the crop
trade.
reports.
yeah.
when it
So
comes
yes, take the swap in stride.
Fuck no.
I initially said yes because I thought Eddie Murphy did.
Eddie did, but
but
not
he
really,
doesn't as much.
because
And
he's
I
he's-
realized like no, I guess he
because
doesn't.
he's stealing. Because he's well, and another one, well, these guys are queer or whatever he says.
Yeah.
He says something derogatory.
Yeah.
But like no, he does. He does it
But that's just
multiple times.
1983, I think.
No, what I'm saying is like he just has multiple moments where he's questioning what's
Yeah,
happening.
yeah. Because like he would be wary of something like that for sure.
Yeah. Now, even if I got to stop, even if you just came across this situation where you're getting all of these positions, when he drops the money clip, you steal the money. They're rich. Give a fuck about them.
He's making $80,000 a year. I think he doesn't care.
Well, he doesn't have it up front. He's still getting
no,
paychecks.
but I think the point is that he's thinking like, I'm in a good position. I shouldn't fuck this up by taking this quick hit
Do you think
of a
he
little bit
didn't
of money.
Because he's African American and knew he would get in trouble? Because as a white man, I'd steal it.
Did you know? Did you like?
I'm white, Zach.
Hang on. This is news to me. What did you think about the whole situation when he got arrested to begin with?
Oh,
like,
that's the shot overhead, the overhead shot of the guns. That was neat.
Well, that was.
Those are definitely 80s cops guns. Like they're just recycled
the revolvers.
Props. Yeah, over and over.
No, I mean like the whole thing of like him like bumping into Dan Aykroyd, and then Dan Aykroyd's like, he's trying to rob me. I was like, God,
no,
fuck this dude.
No, I mean yes. As in, it's so over the top that it is believable that this fucking son of a bitch would do that.
He was just such a little fucking like
ninny,
prissy little ninny.
And then ran in, catch him! He's got the payroll. Like yes,
he tried to steal the payroll.
I think
and it's
Dan
like,
Aykroyd did a great job with this character. Like he is like he's so detestable.
Yeah,
for
sure.
So no, over the top to the point it is believable.
Yeah, I liked it. I thought it was.
And he's a twerp.
Twerp. That's a fun word. So let's do number 5. Stop calling it.
That's what it is.
Taboo seduction. Hits on someone inappropriate. I said yes.
Okay, well, hang on. Who for you?
It's the gorilla.
Oh. You know who I had? Eddie Murphy when he was pretending to be crippled. Trying
to hit on that woman.
Yeah.
I thought that kind of too.
I gave that one. Now, once again, those are stretches, but they do exist.
Yeah.
Because it's not really...
I wanted to give it to it. I wanted this one to have more freak similes.
I think it naturally did.
I think it had more than I expected for sure. But you want to take a break and wrap these up?
Yeah, I want to talk about the gorilla thing now that you brought it up.
Okay.
It made me very uncomfortable. I don't like the idea of entrapment or bestiality. It really bothers me. And then rape bestiality is just, I did not like the joke.
Well, also, it's just like it's just a joke in this comedy movie, but that guy is literally going to die, like from not being able to eat, because his mouth is taped shut.
Correct.
Like he's just gonna die.
He's gonna bleed to death from being raped by that gorilla.
Yeah, man, that shit's wild.
I whacked my whacker.
What if you didn't next time?
No. So obviously it's such a dumb joke because that was clearly a mask, and they just wanted, someone just wanted Jim Belushi in this movie.
I thought Jim Belushi. I think this is like the best he has ever been in a movie.
I mean, okay, I'll give
in this
give
tiny
it to you.
role.
I don't think that was it. According to Jim, I don't think he ever needed to be a celebrity. I think that his brother was wonderful at what he did, and then his brother somehow got roles. So yes, you're right. This was fine for temperament.
So also staying on the train, I do want to backtrack a little bit later, but staying on the train for now. Really forgot there was blackface in this movie.
It was so hard.
When he came in, I was like,
I 100% forgot. So when they're all doing the acts, and it's Hildy,
like,
Hildy, and then the drunk priest, and the Nigerian, and then that you're like, oh God, why? They did not need to do Jamaican blackface. And I don't know if you noticed too, when he takes the wig off and he's like, all right, you guys are all busted, and he walks out of the train, they definitely toned down the blackface to make it seem, because like otherwise it would have been, well, I don't even know what to say. It was already rough.
It was terrible.
But it was definitely faded some when they just had Dan Aykroyd. Now maybe that was an accident, or I thought they like tried to tone it down because they realized without the wig it was like, oh, that's hardcore blackface.
Yeah. I don't think they cared.
I think they graded up.
I don't think they cared. I think it was just the lighting was different in the hallway than in the cabin.
But
no, that was rough. I was like, of like the bad things in this movie.
Of how happy Dan Aykroyd played it. Like he was very excited to be that Jamaican guy.
Yeah, but I think that's just him as like a sketch comedy actor being like, yeah, I'll do this sketch. And
Well,
it's like,
and I
dude.
don't. Someone like Eddie Murphy with his pedigree and how funny he is.
Yeah.
If he's on board with a joke, I could see how it would get out
Right,
of control
right.
fast. Because if he's there encouraging it or really playing along with it, it would be a little more difficult. Now, obviously, without saying nowadays you can't do that, but I don't think it wasn't intended to be on that on the nose as it is now. But yeah, whatever, you forgive it.
Well, but also I would say that, like, at the time, even if Eddie Murphy was uncomfortable with it, I think that it wasn't a time where he would have felt okay speaking up about it, because
Yeah.
it's one of his early movies. He's not this huge star yet, like he will be. So
Sure.
even if he thinks like this is racist, this is shitty, he's probably not gonna speak up about it.
Yeah.
Ruin his career, you
Yeah.
know.
All right.
It's a fucked
Well,
up time.
I mean, we can still end it with blackface is always
Why would
fucked
they
up.
do that? I was
I don't know
like,
what
God
to say.
damn.
You're just like, all right, let's let that slide by, I guess.
Yeah.
That's all you can do.
Yeah, for sure. So how did you feel about Dan Aykroyd eating that fish out of his beard?
It's always the part in this movie that I remember because it's so I can't. Oh, it's so disgusting. Could you imagine eating a fake wig? And he does it. Oh, it stretches and you can hear it stretching.
It's so
And
gross.
oh, no, I can't. It's so gross. I hate it.
I knew you would.
First off, I like salmon, but he's just eating this what appears to be raw salmon.
No, it's not raw.
What's fucking very
Smoked.
very pink, then whatever.
Yeah.
But he's eating salmon on a fucking train on a subway car, and he
Worse,
pulls
it's a
his
bus.
his nasty ass. It is his nasty ass fucking gray beard.
Oh, it's so filthy looking.
It's awful. I always think about that part, and every time I hear the cotton pool, I'm like, ooh, gotta turn it off. I can't. Oh, it's so bothersome. Oh, I hated it.
Good stuff.
Hated
Yeah,
every
watching
second
that
of
scene, I was like, ooh, he's gonna love this.
Yeah, bothersome.
So,
But I do like his drop out of how like it's just out of nowhere. He sees the newspaper article and he's like, "Oh, I'll show them," and then it just plunges to like he clearly. You're like, why is he so filthy in the Santa costume? And you realize because he probably just paid a drunk homeless Santa to give him his outfit.
Yeah.
Like that's literally what happened.
yeah.
And just shows up at the party, which makes you wonder how he even got in, like looking that filthy. But whatever, he's just Santa.
It's a Christmas party. A lot can slip by.
Yeah. I love that he just had so many drugs too.
Well, he went out
Probably
and got
from
him
the
all
Santa.
these different ones. Yeah.
Probably from the Santa.
I like, though, that he still feels like he can, like, him being this, like, shitty, like, down and out drunk Santa in Eddie Murphy's office with the drugs, and he's like, Randolph,
I know.
Mortimer.
He
Then he
switches
still
his
is like
tone,
that. It's
yeah.
like, oh, God, come on, this
Yeah.
again.
No, I
I
liked it.
finally caught him.
I know.
He's a drug dealer. I also really...
How he kept correcting the heroin to PCP.
Angel dust, PCP. Like, he kept saying that.
I think it happened 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, it's great. But he, I really liked. There was that correction that he did, and there's also his denial was exactly the same every time. I've never seen that woman before in my life. And every single thing was exactly that, and I was like, man, this is funny. It's good stuff.
Yep. So I didn't realize that they. I was going to ask a question, then they actually caught it.
Yeah.
I was going to say, how come he has no family whatsoever that he
And
can
they say
take
his
it back?
parents are
But yeah,
dead.
early the second time watching this, they do say your parents would be ashamed. I went, fuck. They closed the door that I have, but still, like someone would fucking recognize him. I
Yeah, because
can't
when they're
imagine
making
that
when they're making the bet, when they're talking about it and saying like, well, he doesn't have a family anymore, so
yeah,
no one to fall back on, no one to help him. We'd have to alienate all his friends and lose his job and his fiance.
It's just like I could see the job, but yeah, I mean, for the movie to work, you have to alienate everybody. But then again, if everyone's quote unquote on the payroll one way or another,
well, but I think I think this whole movie is a great commentary
great.
on like
It's
the
great.
shittiness of these like upper class rich people, and we don't get a lot of like media like that anymore because so much of it is owned by that type of person. But like that, it's so much a commentary on he has one thing go wrong. And the rich people, these like snooty assholes,
shun him.
They shun him. They're so quick to just write him off over like
Yeah,
a rumor, basically.
It's
and like,
over, and his day in the shun is over.
Yep. I see what you did.
Okay.
I see what you did. What did you think about their plan to like swap out, get the real crop report, and then screw over the Dukes?
I just the crop report. That's fictitious, right?
No,
There's
that's real.
Fucking report that tells you exactly what things are going to be. Because then, like,
no, that's real.
Where's that come from?
It comes from the states, like each state. So they're talking about frozen.
Why would that not be? Why would that not be
juice.
For the public?
It is public, but they get the report and then they announce it on this specific day. So having it early would give you great advantage. It's like insider trading. Like if you have stock info on your own company that is going to go public in a week and you can trade on it, that's illegal now.
So it's the Martha Stewart report.
Yeah.
Like I would have paid more attention had I heard that.
The rule is actually called the Eddie Murphy rule that they made after this movie. Like that's what they call it.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, it's real. Like it has to do with insider trading and getting that information.
Now, the only reason that, and I love you, Zach, you're my best friend.
Oh my God, are you going to propose?
I'm hesitating because one time this guy tricked me about a baseball in a cup.
Oh, geez.
And I don't want it to happen again. So
And
every
you gave
time
me your
you
camera?
look at me and everyone else has walked away from you and I'm still listening, I get real nervous. And I could see it's just me and you here. So.
No, I read a lot of trivia on the IMDb of this movie. Like I read a lot of trivia looking for like interesting tidbits.
And I'm not a reader, so I trust you.
And I'm not a writer.
Ah.
I am. God damn it.
Well, you're a typer.
A bit of
and a texter.
Bit of a writer. So yeah, I really like their plan. I like the way they pulled it off. It almost made it like had an element of like a heist movie,
Yeah.
like an Ocean's 11 kind of like a
with all the
caper,
costumes.
where they're like, oh, we're gonna come up with this plan, and then it's like stupid and doesn't work, but still works somehow.
I think I don't know. It's almost like they wanted to make sure the audience was still entertained to the movie, like they in case they were getting bored.
It made it a little zany.
Yeah, zany.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. We haven't talked at all about Beaks.
Oh, we gotta
how
start
he has
over.
not aged. Well, I can't even say he has not aged because I'm thinking Breakfast Club, which was fucking 80s.
What, like 3 years later?
I was gonna
probably?
say, I'm like, so that was a dumb question, but like it still seemed like he hasn't aged that much.
I don't know. I haven't seen that dude in.
Well, I was
anything
gonna
in a long
say
time.
he was in parody movies of himself.
Yeah, like not
in the
another teen movie, but that was like 2002, I think.
Yeah, you're right. I guess it's been a little long.
It's 19 years ago.
Either way, Beaks is probably always the same guy, right? Same character. I just kept thinking he was gonna go. You're gonna get the horns.
He's got a type for sure.
You mess with a bull, you're gonna get the horns.
Yeah. So when they go to the stock exchange, have you ever gone down an escalator facing backwards like they did, where they were like looking at their friends as they were like going down? It was weird.
I think I would vomit.
Yeah, I kind of felt the same way. I thought like that'd be weird.
I don't like the idea of it. Do you want to jump back into a trope?
A what?
A trope.
You mean a freak simile?
Yeah, that's what I said. It's weird.
No, so
I sneezed. That's what it was. I was sneezing, and you heard something that.
Yeah,
wasn't
no,
there.
you're right. I must. Wow.
Yeah,
I gotta get my ears checked.
No, you fucked up.
So how do you feel about the Dukes as villains? Because I really liked them. I thought
great.
they were.
They're
I thought
great.
they were like
They're believable. I like how like
easily hateable.
They were kind of doing a good cop, bad cop because Statler was nicer than his younger brother Duke.
Oh boy.
But then they were both so shitty, and then the $5 tip.
$1. Oh, and the $1 bet, and the half of that.
No, I like the $1 bet. I think that was fucking icing on the cake.
Yeah,
but the $5 tip, you're like
the
you
Christmas
piece of
bonus.
shit,
He calls it, and it's like, wow.
Yeah, it's just like these fucking multi-millionaires. They're like, wow, this is insane. Who are we paying $50,000 to? And you're like, God, you suck.
You fucked up. You're trying to like cheat and break the law, and you're still pissed about spending the money.
Not even for who it was for, and then they like swept it under the rug. But like, that they actually do look over those numbers. Like, fuck you. Like,
yeah, exactly.
At that point, you have so much money.
Yeah,
but, it's the addiction. Like,
they need
saying,
to make more.
Like all of a sudden, they were like, he made us $347,000. Like to you, it's nothing. So what does it matter? God, no, it's disgusting. Is what it is. When you actually take a second to think about it.
Yeah.
Like, because you see Dan Aykroyd's morning routine with his butler, like serving him breakfast,
Shaving him.
but then like you're like, God, like what a snooty fuck. But then you see the Duke, and they have the whole staff waiting for him to come out. You're like, oh no, this is
Mr. Duke. Mr. Duke.
This is crap.
Morning, Mr. Duke.
Yep.
Yeah. You think we should work for the Dukes?
No, I told you about the butler thing. I won't be your butler, Zach.
I'm not a Duke.
Okay.
Not
You're a
yet.
Deuce.
Wow.
Ayo.
You know, just for that, I'm not buying a day for you.
Dude.
When you're long dead.
What did I say? May 13th, 2039. I want that
You're not
day.
getting it.
I don't want that.
I'm going to buy it for
I want
someone
a different
else.
day, April 12th.
I'm buying that for someone else, too.
Um,
I'm buying all the days.
June 10th.
Juneteenth, the holiday.
I want it.
Sure.
Give me the holiday.
Do
You want to do a facsimile?
So, yeah, number 6 tries to explain the situation
Fuck
to an
yeah,
outsider.
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yep, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And Dan Aykroyd trying to explain it to the cops, too.
Yeah.
So he does it all over. Eddie Murphy, meanwhile, is like, I got a limo. Like, he doesn't give a fuck.
He benefited, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Causes chaos, clearly.
Oh, yeah, for sure. They both do. Well, I guess Dan Aykroyd isn't in Eddie Murphy's life. It's just a similar position.
I think Eddie Murphy is
can't.
causing chaos in Dan Aykroyd's
Eddie
life.
Murphy causes chaos for sure.
Him existing is causing chaos
exactly.
in his life.
All right, number 8. Both say they want to trade places. Sure don't.
Nope. New perspective?
Oh
Fuck
yeah.
yeah.
The perspective in this one is great.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. You want me to talk like that more?
No.
That's pretty good.
Polar opposites. I think that's the point.
Yeah, of course. I think they are. Yeah, that's the whole thing.
What's fucked up? 7 out of 10, baby.
7 out of 10. Me
this
too.
is pretty fucking high. So it was a
70% movie.
It was a good decision on your part.
Yeah, it's a fun one.
As the entrepreneur.
So I will say this though. I believe this owes a little more to Mark Twain's The Prince and the Pauper than it does to, a Freaky Friday, to a true body swap,
When the end of days happened, Mark Twain said he wanted to be in Cincinnati because everything shows up late there.
Oh, man.
I don't know if you knew that.
We just really sound like we love our town on this episode.
No, I said Cleveland when I was talking about Sublime.
You said it rocks.
Ugh.
Because you're Drew Carey.
God, I forgot about that horse shit.
Yeah, but Drew Carey's a good show. I like it.
I'll have to check it out another time.
So we touched on it a little bit earlier, but every Freaky Wednesday we like to discuss who played the opposite role better, and obviously they don't actually switch bodies, but I think Eddie Murphy did a pretty good job.
Eddie Murphy just took to it like bread and butter.
That's not a thing people say.
No, you put the bread in the butter.
You dip it.
Yeah, and then it's enclosed.
Why can't you have dip for dinner?
No, I think that how do I say this? He was convincing on both. They were both convincing on both sides. However, Dan Aykroyd never really fully succumbed. He always knew who he was. He was just down. He always had, Where Eddie Murphy all of a sudden felt like a different person.
Yeah. Dan Aykroyd always had that really proper way of speaking.
Where Dan Aykroyd didn't seem to really change. He just has a low point, but he never changed who he was.
Exactly.
Where Eddie Murphy became a better person.
Eddie Murphy, I
would say, no, kind of better person because he stopped scamming people because he found confidence in he found confidence in himself and just held himself with a bit.
And I think it's a really
more respect.
Yeah, I think it's a really great example of different people having opportunity or privilege or whatever, and just because he's this down and out hustler, as your lovely synopsis said, doesn't mean that he couldn't do a good job working at this company or what. Given an opportunity, he couldn't succeed at it. Because obviously he does, and it even shows in when he's in the office with them and he's saying wait, don't buy yet, or whatever it was, and then he says now do it and make some money. He's got a
quote unquote commoner approach to it.
He's got a good perspective on it, and even with just learning what the whole business is about, he has a good grasp on it.
I do forgive the fourth wall break because I think it was so great
when he looks
when
into
they're
it.
because he's these are all. I can't remember why
he says. What he says is, this is pork bellies that's used to make bacon,
yeah.
which you might find on a bacon, lettuce, and tomato
lettuce,
sandwich.
Tomatoes. Why did you not say BLT?
Look,
bacon,
the
lettuce,
whole
and
thing is
tomato
that he's
sandwich.
like, bacon that you might find. He's trying to make
Yeah.
it relatable to Eddie Murphy,
Oh,
and that's
they're
when he
so
does the
dumb.
look into the camera like, come on.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, no, I thought that was great.
You wonder if it was scripted or not.
I think the look into the camera is scripted. That was one of the things they mentioned as like a director's signature. Like John Landis has people do that on like a...
Nice.
Yeah. What else? I don't think I've got anything else. You got anything else about this movie you want to talk about before we tell them what we're doing next?
My notes died a long time ago. However, it does say Ophelia's pink dress, super boobs.
Sure.
I just wanted to hit on that one more time.
Sure.
Is that was very form-fitting. And I want to end the episode like I started, which was super boobs.
Yeah. Did you notice how... I love that when she says like her name and then Dan Aykroyd's like, do you know that that's from... And it's like, that's her fucking name. Of course she knows that, you pretentious asshole. That you're like... That you're such like a... You have such a low opinion of this woman who's like... lower class than you, that you think she wouldn't know where her name came from. I was like, okay, man, like you're an asshole.
Fucking smart. She did the math. She's
Right,
got 3
exactly.
more years on her back, sir.
Yep. You're a prostitute. God. The way he says it.
PCP, not heroin.
No, it's angel dust. PCP. He kept saying it's so fucking funny. So are you interested in what we're doing next week?
I don't know what we're doing next
I know.
week. Did you know that I didn't look at the calendar
So
at
we
all?
used to do a thing where in the first season, I was just like throwing them at him every week, and he had no idea.
I have access to
Now he
the
knows
information.
what we're doing every week, but hasn't looked at it in a long enough time that I can surprise him again like the first season.
I don't know where we are in the order and the weeks. I don't know where we are in the timeline. I don't know what information we're doing. Sometimes I just get text, watch this movie.
Let me tell you, buddy boy.
Yep.
Next week, we're doing a classic movie.
What?
Called The Hot Chick with Rob Schneider.
Oh, fuck.
It looks so bad.
God, and I kept thinking it was White Chicks, too.
No. That's
not White Chick. We don't have to do White Chicks,
The Hot
right?
Chick with Rob Schneider.
Oh, God. All right. Fucking got a Deuce Bigelow coming up. Oh, shit. Well, tune in because holy moly. I don't even know what's going to happen. I might just lose my mind and quit next week. But
someone better.
You want to be here to hear me go.
Oh, boy. It's going to be fun.
It's going to be something.
It's going to be something, all right.
I still want you to tune in because we're going to have some shit to say.
Oh, The Hot Chick.
We might just talk a lot about Deuce Bigelow, though.
I haven't seen that in years either.
I might watch Deuce Bigelow and just pretend I watched The Hot Chick.
Oh, The Hot Chick. It's going to suck. I'm really bummed that we chose to do that.
It's not going to be great. It's going to be great.
But I think the reason that we picked it is because we knew that we have to have some movies that we hate.
Nah.
To be entertaining.
I love
That's what we need. Oh, shit. Well, we did it again.
I'm happy. You happy? We can exit this popsicle stand.
Popsicle.
I'm tired,
What?
baby. It's time for
What?
bed. Thanks, y'all.
Well, yeah. Thanks for listening this week. Go watch The Hot Chick. And tell all your friends about us. Be sure to subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. If you like what we do, you can rate and review us on Apple Podcasts. You can find us online at KeystoneCopycats.com. We're at Keystone Copycats on Instagram and Facebook, and at Keystone Copycat on Twitter. If you got something to say, you can email us at KeystoneCopycats@gmail.com or leave us a voicemail at 513-239-7682. Leave us a fucking voicemail. Do it! I want to play it. Don't forget to check out Sinclarity Dinosaur's Tale every Friday. And until next time, I'm going to be good old Zachy boy, and he will be...
Please.
That's right.
Bye.